Margaret Atwood, the visionary author behind the chilling dystopian masterpiece The Handmaid's Tale, has recently marked a profound and well-deserved milestone in her extraordinary literary journey. This celebrated writer, whose words have pierced the conscience of generations, was honored with the prestigious Eleanor Roosevelt Bravery in Literature Lifetime Achievement Award. The accolade, a testament to her unwavering courage in the face of adversity, recognizes not just her prolific output but her bold confrontation of societal ills through the power of prose. Atwood, now in her mid-80s, accepted this distinguished award during a glittering ceremony co-presented by the Eleanor Roosevelt Center and PN America. The event unfolded at the historic Bard Avon Opera House in Poughkeepsie, New York, a venue steeped in cultural resonance that seemed fitting for such a luminary. Upon stepping onto the stage to receive her award, Atwood's voice carried the gravitas of a lifetime spent wielding words as weapons against injustice. "It's a great honor to be receiving the Eleanor Roosevelt Lifetime Achievement Award for Bravery in Literature," she declared, her tone laced with genuine humility and quiet strength. In that moment, the audience, comprising fellow writers, activists, and admirers, hung on her every syllable, aware that they were witnessing not merely an acceptance speech but a clarion call from one of literature's most enduring voices. Atwood, ever the historian of human folly, then turned her reflections to the woman whose name the award bears, Eleanor Roosevelt. "For people of my generation, the war babies, a dwindling demographic, Eleanor Roosevelt was a towering figure," she remarked. Born amid the shadows of World War II, Atwood's cohort grew up idolizing Roosevelt not as a distant icon but as a beacon of resilience and moral clarity. Roosevelt's tireless advocacy for civil rights, her eloquent defenses of the marginalized, and her refusal to bow to convention mirrored the very qualities that have defined Atwood's own career. This personal connection elevated the award beyond a mere professional nod. It became a bridge between past and present struggles for justice. Yet Atwood's address was far from nostalgic reminiscence. As one of the most frequently banned authors in the United States, a dubious distinction she wears with a mix of wry amusement and fierce resolve, she delved into the thorny issue of censorship that plagues contemporary literature. Her works, particularly The Handmaid's Tale, have long been lightning rods for controversy. This seminal novel, published in 1985, envisions a near-future America transformed into the theocratic Republic of Gilead, where women are stripped of autonomy, reduced to vessels for reproduction under a brutal patriarchal regime. Its unflinching portrayal of systemic oppression, reproductive control, and the fragility of democracy has made it essential reading for anyone grappling with modern-day assaults on women's rights. But this very potency has rendered it a target for removal from school libraries and curricula, especially in conservative strongholds where its warnings are dismissed as alarmist or worse, subversive. Book banning happens when people are feeling angry, and they feel somebody has to be blamed for something, Atwood observed astutely, her words slicing through the politeness of the occasion like a scalpel. She painted censorship not as an intellectual debate but as a visceral reaction, a symptom of societal unease where discomfort with challenging ideas manifests as outright suppression. In Atwood's view, these acts of banning are rarely about protecting the innocent. They are a power grab on behalf of a certain group of people who want to demonstrate their dominance by squashing other people underfoot. This metaphor, vivid and unsparing, evokes the very tyrannies her fiction so masterfully dissects. It's a reminder that literature, at its core, is a battleground for ideas, and those who seek to control what we read are often those most threatened by what we might think. Atwood's critique extended to the human cost of such campaigns, particularly the frontline defenders of knowledge, librarians. These unsung heroes, she argued, are increasingly vilified and targeted by people who want to be more powerful than them. In an era where public libraries serve as sanctuaries for diverse voices and free inquiry, attacks on librarians represent an assault on democracy itself. Atwood urged her listeners to rally in their defense, framing it as an ethical imperative. Her speech wove in broader exhortations on human rights, emphasizing that vigilance today shapes tomorrow's world. "The future we get is going to depend partly on what we do in the present," she intoned, a line that could easily be lifted from one of her novels. This forward gaze is quintessential Atwood. Even in moments of celebration, she compels us to confront the precariousness of progress and the fragility of freedom's hard-won. Amid these weighty themes, Atwood offered a lighter, more intimate glimpse into her creative process with the announcement of her upcoming memoir, Book of Lives, a memoir of sorts, poised for release on November 4th. True to her self-deprecating wit, she demystified the genre, describing it as an exercise in selective recollection. "In my mind, A memoir is what you remember, and what you mostly remember looking back over decades on this planet is stupid things you did, catastrophes that occurred, stuff like that, she quipped. This candid admission promises a volume that will eschew hagiography for raw honesty, chronicling the mishaps and missteps that humanize even literary giants. Fans can expect anecdotes from a life that spans pivotal historical shifts, from the Cold War's chill to the digital age's discontents, interlaced with the evolution of her craft. Atwood's memoirs have always been portals into her intellectual ecosystem, blending personal revelation with sharp cultural observation, and this one appears no different. To fully appreciate this milestone, one must contextualize Atwood's oeuvre within the broader tapestry of 20th and 21st century literature. Born in Ottawa in 1939, she was a prodigy of sorts, publishing her first poem at age 19 while studying at the University of Toronto. Her early works, like the poetry collection The Circle Game, 1966, which won the Governor-General's Award, showcased a precocious talent for interrogating power structures through metaphor and myth. But it was her novels that catapulted her to global fame. The Edible Woman, 1969, satirized consumer culture and gender roles. Surfacing, 1972, delved into ecological and psychological alienation. Cat's Eye, 1988, dissected the brutal intimacies of female friendship. Yet, The Handmaid's Tale remains her magnum opus, a prophetic warning that has sold millions and inspired adaptations, from a ballet to the Emmy-winning Hulu series starring Elizabeth Moss.